Starfield features a host of illegal activities that you can partake in, and one of the most important features is the act of smuggling contraband. Contraband items are extremely illegal, ranging from banned drugs to heretical scripture to even harvested organs. In this video, we'll tell you how to acquire contraband, successfully smuggle it into settled systems, and sell it. Unlike regular stolen items, which have a red marker, contraband is most often found when exploring abandoned labs or enemy strongholds of Spacers and the Crimson Fleet, and will have a yellow marker next to their name. Contraband items by their very nature have a much higher base sell value than most items you can steal or pickpocket. But the downside is that you can't legally enter a planet with a settlement or city controlled by either the United Colonies or Freestar Collective. These include the following planets and systems: Jemison on the Alpha Centauri system, Mars on the Sol system, Titan, which is the moon of Saturn, on the Sol system, Aquila on the Cheyenne system, Polvo on the Valos system, and Voli Alpha in the Voli system. When traveling to these planets, even if you try to fast travel directly to the place on the surface, you'll be told to wait in orbit until your ship is scanned for contraband. You'll have a few seconds to get away by jumping to another system, but you need to be quick. The scan will happen even if you don't have any contraband on board, as a way of warning you what happens when you actually do come across some. If their scans detect the presence of contraband items anywhere on the ship, including your hold, in a companion's inventory, or even dropped on the ground, you'll be placed under arrest without question. Attempting to resist the arrest, or even attempting a grav jump to another system or planet, will immediately result in a bounty being placed on you, rendering any patrolling security ships to attack you on sight until you clear your bounty at a kiosk that can be found at random settlements or planets controlled by another faction. Much like stolen items gained through stealth or pickpocketing, most merchants will want nothing to do with your contraband items. Luckily, even if you aren't regularly visiting the Crimson Fleet in the Crix system, you'll find that each major settlement for both the UC and Freestar have traders who don't mind a bit of crime. When in any major city or settlement, use the directories to find the Trade Authority building. This group isn't above taking illicit items into their inventory, even though they try to put on a reputable front. They'll gladly buy any items from you, be they stolen or contraband. Remember, you can only sell it to a sales associate directly, not at kiosks, and they can also take your illegal goods before you get scanned for contraband. An easy early place to sell off contraband without fear of any scans is the Wolf system, located close to Alpha Centauri. Here you can find a space station called the Den that's technically under UC guard, but nobody will scan you on entry. You can even wait or sleep for 48 hours to replenish the Trade Authority's funds to keep coming back and sell more. If you plan to make big bucks by smuggling and selling contraband, you should highly consider investing in the commerce skill, as it will tilt the base value of the item in your favor, meaning you'll stand to gain much more from all of your hard work. Contraband items come in a few different forms, and depending on where you travel and who you encounter, you may be more likely to find them in certain places. Here's a list of contraband you can expect to find in Starfield. When you find your first contraband item, the big question will usually be, what do you do with it? The good news is that depending on where you find it, you may have a few options. Your ship is only scanned for contraband when entering a planet, but you will not be scanned until you leave and come back. For example, if you just happen to find some contraband on Neon, which is an extremely likely place to find contraband, you can just mosey right over to the Trade Authority and sell it without the hassle of being scanned. If you find contraband on another planet, the game will helpfully alert you to your impending arrest by graying out fast travel to faction planets that will scan your cargo, giving you a chance to do something about it first. Since smuggling options can sometimes require a bit of work, the best first thing to do is to establish a safe house outpost to store your ill-gotten gains in the meantime. To do so, simply travel to an unclaimed planet or moon. Even the moon of Kurtz that orbits Jemison is fair game, and build a basic outpost by pulling out your scanner and entering the outpost mode. Place your beacon and then a hab and an airlock, and then place a storage crate inside to leave your contraband in it. Nobody will come snooping around while you're gone, so you can proceed to the next steps. By default, your ship's cargo cannot be shielded from scans, but there are a few ways to go about getting a shielded cargo storage. Depending on how much you want to live the smuggler's lifestyle, the most straightforward option is to join up with the Crimson Raiders faction, which involves a bit of going undercover on behalf of the UC Vanguard. Unlike other ship technicians and starports, the one you can interact with on the Crick system and at their home base, the Key, will let you add shielded cargo to your ship, which grants a decent chance to evade being detected by contraband scans.
Scan complete. You are cleared to land at New Atlantis.
All smuggling-related components can be accessed via the ship builder. When entering the mode, click Add and navigate to the Cargo tab, where you'll find a list of available shielded cargo hold options. When selecting a hold, look for the Cargo Shielded stat. The higher it is, the better chance you'll have. If you intend to go full Space Pirate, you'll likely want to unlock at least rank 2 in Starship Design, as some fairly significant options pop up. This includes a Scan Jammer, which can be found under the Equipments tab. This item will increase your chance of evasion during a ship scan by 50% if you're using a shielded cargo module and carrying contraband. Of course, this setup requires a bit of investment. While the parts can sometimes be cheap, it will take you some time to get inserted into the Crimson Fleet, and trying to warp to the Crick system beforehand will cause every space pirate in the area to open fire. Note that for those who want to make a career out of smuggling and piracy, be sure to invest in the smuggling skill, as each tier increases your chances of evading scans to a maximum of 50%. If you don't want to bother trying to find a shielded cargo ship, then we highly recommend looking into completing the Mantis side quest. Completing that quest will earn you the legendary ship called the Razor Leaf, which is not only fast and powerful, but comes equipped with a shielded cargo hold. Luckily for you, we have a video that explains how to start and complete that quest over on IGN's wiki. We'll also drop a link for the video in the description for this one. And that's everything you need to know about smuggling contraband in Starfield. Be sure to check out our growing Starfield wiki over on IGN.com to read and watch even more helpful guides like these. And of course, for everything else video games, you're already in the right place, IGN.